that I think she has potential as a heel. I didn't see her going anywhere as a face. Like it just led to just nowhere.
Yeah, no. If I can add in, yeah, it was a good heel turn. If we talked last week about the actual heel turn, the action of it, great. I loved how they did the broken skateboard on her entrance now for when she comes in. It's those little nuances that you gotta love. They're not fading away from them. They're just running right with it. The promo was great. The follow up, we'll get to the battle royale, but the follow up of how they handled everyone dealing with her, throwing the title in the trash, to me, that added to the promo even better.
Indeed, and I was actually taking a slot at the WWE Tag Team Champions. Telling us no, it's not. They haven't forgotten about it, and I thought it was a funny jab at it. WWE in house taking some jabs there is interesting to see there. Also, the Alundra Blade became Medusa when she did that in WCW many years ago. For all those newbies that haven't watched wrestling back then, like myself and Charles have watched. Yeah, that was an interesting dynamic. But then we opened up NXT with the first match. Cameron Grimes taking on JD McDonagh. My God, that match from the entrance. We know, wow. To kick it off, we were on our feet. We enjoyed. We were loud. The one thing I can say about it, and I say each and every week here, the NXT universe, they are loud. They are in full force. They're
proud.
I'm proud of it, and they are proud of it. And I just like when other podcasts say, they make it seem like we weren't invested, and so much lies. You got to be here live. That's why I tell you guys, all you guys out there, the competition, you know who you are at Wrestling Inc. By the way, come on over to NXT. Come visit us in Orlando, Florida. Be part. Sit down with us and listen to us. We'll teach you a lesson if you know about how to cheer, not those marks. So let me give you the thoughts. Samurai, you watch it on TV. What did the match look to you there? The chemistry, the in-ring performance, the moves. What did it look like from you there? Because we saw it live and up and close and personal. Talk to me.
It was actually a very hard hitting, fun match. I mean, I like Cameron Grimes, I do, but JD McDougall, or AKA Jordan Devlin, I'm gonna call him Jordan Devlin because that's his name. I feel like they can go an extra. It was about a 15-minute match, I think.
Yeah. Yes,
about 15 minutes. So they could go another an extra 15. I wouldn't complain. And go 30 minutes. It makes it so much more intense. I would have wanted Cameron Grimes to win, but I don't know where they're going with him.
Charles, let me ask you this. We saw a bunch of cross bodies. We saw some good work from JD on the knee on Cameron Grimes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is what we want to see in a match. A storyline within a storyline of the reason why. Right now we see Grimes is going in a downfall of losing quite a few matches in a row. This time you saw that he was working on an injury. We all know NXT is the developmental wrestling league. They're getting ready to perform in the main rosters, either in AEW, WWE. Remember, this. I always tell everyone, before you criticize it, put yourself in their shoes. This is you making your first time ever in-ring debut as a wrestler, what your long-time dream, and you're getting the opportunity in the Performance Center to showcase your talent or what you've been practicing in front of a live audience and to the world. Now, this looked like they were ready. This was clean, exciting, fast-paced. Give me your input on that.
Well, JD's coming from NXT UK, Cameron, here on this side. So you definitely have some veteran NXT guys, used to that area. And I hope everyone looks at this as what NXT can bring also, because It was great. Like you said, the storyline, I don't know. What was your thoughts, real quick, Samurai, on Joey Gacy coming in? Because I got some thoughts. I'll go off on then. But like, that's a storyline from JD. The storyline with Denise. So you got storyline, inside storyline, and it was all executed great to me. But Samurai, real quick, what were your thoughts on Joey Gacy coming in the middle of the match?
Well, I didn't notice him at first until I saw, the Don of the Pod over there do the thumbs up, I mean, not the peace sign. Yeah, there you go. That. And so I'm like, what is he doing? It literally pointed right at him, but as he did it. But I mean, I was actually surprised. I mean, I didn't know where it was going. I was confused. I thought he was like gonna introduce the dyad to, I guess, attack either both of them or one or the other. So
okay. Yeah. See, I looked at it, especially after the promo, as a recruitment process. You're down on your luck, Cameron. Look what I did for the dyads. You can be my next. And that, to me, like the watching, but from the start of the match, just from Cameron last week to this week, from real quick, Don and I, everyone come out to NXT. There's not a bad seat in the house. Everyone's fun. We really, it's like an after school club is the best way to describe it, with the chants, almost like I even say somewhat like a European soccer league with some of the chants we get going on. But Joey, Don and I had great seats right by the stairs, and Cameron's energy from last week to this week was the same. Intense, ready to go. And I don't know if you heard it, but some of those strikes, some of those kicks and knees he put on JD, we came out of our seats a couple of times just because, I mean, if your back was turned going up the stairs, then you turned around because you heard it. Love the finish. Don't know if they caught it, but they actually, I think one of the refs threw up the X at the end of the match. So I don't know. I rewatched the TV showing, wasn't on TV, so don't know how true that is. But watching the match, but last night, remembering someone at the end of it threw the X up, so don't know how real.
That was Grimes himself.
That was Grimes. Okay,
yeah, he threw the X himself. Yeah, I remember that. Okay. I remember saying that. I was like, wait a minute, he threw the X himself. They really, and then that's when the two officials came, and they were remember when they kneeled in front of us out of the camera when they watched the replay, because for a little bit of behind the peak of the curtains when you're there in NXT Live. After the match is over, I don't know if it shows, but the wrestlers, the performers, either both heel and face, they turn around, they look at the screen, they admire or they see their view of the match, how it turned out, and they see, and then they get the signal. All right, some of them thanks the crowd, some of them just watches and they leave. So I don't know if they cut to promos or commercial break, but they do watch that. They give you that, and the referees came and helped him. He was helped out. I don't know how much of a real impact of the injury he has there, but if not, he did a great job selling it. Although we got JD McDonagh getting the victory, he got the pin on a back suplex, and it looked really clean. It looked really good. No botches, and
no botches.
Yeah, what an impact first match for NXT in the United States for McDougal. Although we saw him in Great American Bash attacking the champion at the end of the match, but now he had one with Grimes. It was like I get the runner up, and do I want to see these guys go at it again? Of course,
yes. It was, and going back to what you said, storyline from the Cameron's own stuff to working the knee to then I love the flip fact that Cameron injured Bron and now Cameron's injured. So it's like shoes on the other foot now. Now what you've dealt, you're getting back, Cameron. And just wondering if stuff's coming around to him now.
Right. Let me ask you this, Samurai. If they were to tell you, like, WWE, at least in Raw, they always build there's something like this. You'll end up seeing, like, not maybe next week, but in a week from now, JD McDougal teaming up with Joe Gacy taking on Breakker and Grimes. Sometimes they will do that if it was Raw. I don't know if they'll do it in NXT because there's so much talent, and it's only a 2-hour show there, where it's 3-hour show in Raw. I wouldn't mind seeing those four, if you don't want to separate them yet and the chase but you could see them in the ring how chemistry wise there. It'll be interesting in my opinion. What's your thoughts, Samurai?
I mean, it's a little bit overdone, but yeah, I can see it happening.
Okay,
I can see it happening definitely.
That's a good, honest opinion.
Yeah.
And Charles, any thought on that before we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I mean, like Samurai, I think it's kind of overdone a little bit, and like you said, NXT, I think they don't like to focus on that stuff and just stick to the tag teams and everything. And if you're a tag team, you're a tag team. You tag team wrestle. You're singles, you stick to the singles. I think Level Up is more for that. What you're kind of talking about when they have, because they did that with the younger Creed brother, and last week at Level Up, they did a mitt between two singles that are having feuds.
All right, got you. That's another way of doing that. So we shall see there. We move on now, finally, to an in-ring promo. We're gonna hear now from Cora Jade. She comes out, of course, dressed in her regular street clothes, that you could say. She has the one half of the women tag titles on her. She explains, and admits that she actually attacks Roxy in the parking lot, and why she felt like she was the first. She was there first in NXT. She was the shining star. Along her friend comes, not only takes the spotlight, wins the breakout tournament, helps her win the gold. Actually wins the gold first, and then felt like that title with her wasn't more than enough. She wanted now to be greedy and get the NXT Women's title, and that's what was kind of the reason for turning on her. You know what, Cora Jade, I think as a heel,
love it.
Chef kiss, yes.
Hey, I give it 2 dons.
Hey, Samurai. Yes, and I loved it. It's like she's gonna take it to the next level. Of course, she says no, Roxy. She did not come last night due to the fact she had a broken heart. That was oh
okay.
Yeah, she's a broken heart. Oh, that's so sweet.
But
the trash can dumping. We said a little bit earlier when we teased in the beginning, the trash dumping was like, whoa, that was okay here. I was like, let's see. I mean, WWE is making a statement with saying, we haven't forgotten about the women's tag title, and I liked it. Then we have a backstage promo. We saw Zion Quinn backstage said he's looking forward to his match with Apollo Crew. I can't wait for these two to go at it. Mm-hmm. I you know what? Hurry up Tuesday. I can't wait to see these two guys go at it, because I always said, and I've been saying, I said it last week, I think when Apollo Crew not only needs to rebrand like Mandy Rose did for her career, and also they want to see how many of these wrestlers are ready to go to the main roster, if they could keep up with the pace, the fast pace, the in-ring ability, how it looks with an Apollo Crew. And if they look good there, I think they're going to be getting ready to start calling some of these NXT wrestlers, because there's a new crop of young men and women in the Performance Center. So they can't keep all of them. Rather than elevate some of these kids up there, see what you got, bring in the new future stars. What's your thoughts, Charles?
Like you're going, kind of playing off what you're saying, going with all these injuries. I mean, both brands, NXT, I mean, so main roster, I should say all 3 rosters, not both. All 3 rosters are looking at, some injuries from the going on and just scheduling. So elevating some of these NXT people that are ready, I think is awesome. To go to the Cora thing, what was a 4 or 5 minute promo? Yeah. The callback to Medusa with the titles, the self poking of the bear at themselves, like we don't care about tag team, but they have too many great tag teams, and I think some of the NXT tag teams are ready, and they can elevate that main roster because they don't really have a women's tag team division, the main roster, but the NXT, you have some. I mean, you have Kaden and Katana. That's a big one. I can't blank on the other 2 right now. I'm sorry, but
Julissa and the other young lady, Valentina.
Toxic Attraction.
The best tag team in all of all wrestling right now.
Right now, I don't know. I'm hyped on Kaden and Katana right now. What they do in the ring, I love what the storytelling they tell during their matches. How they talk to the crowd. They play the crowd. and play their opponent against the crowd as well. And I love it. Like that's a Toxic Attraction too. I'm just not sold on them yet. I don't know what it is.
I think they're the best.
I love
the best.
The love heels. I mean, look at the podcast I'm on right now. Love heels.
Samurai, what's your thoughts there? I want to get your thoughts on this.
I have nothing really to add, but I agree with both of your statements. I do think that it was a callback to the, old days of wrestling. I just, I don't know what they're doing, but it's working right now. Like,
yeah, with the women's, I agree with you there. Because now not only that, we're starting to see a new tag team forming in
Ivy Nile
and Paxley.
Yeah,
Tatum. We'll get to that craziness later.
Yes. We get to the next match now. Diamond Mine versus Diamond Mine. Roderick Strong taking on Damian Kemp. Now, this match, all right, let's see. There's a storyline within a storyline. Now, it looks like everyone's complaining and saying, oh, Diamond Mine should be broken up. And I'm like, nonsense. Diamond Mine is, for us, NXT, I'm going to say, I love seeing Diamond Mine come out there. I love it. And I mentioned it before, and of course, I don't want to sound redundant, but Charles is the first time visiting us. I'd like to say that I would like to see, when they have Bivens as a mouthpiece, Sheldon Benjamin, bring him down. He's not really doing much in the main roster. He's a former Olympic with the Kurt Angle movement. You could, part of that faster, because you're not gonna bring Gables or Otis, or these, because they kind of fit that Diamond Mine. So you bring in Sheldon Benjamin, experienced, talented, and a phenomenal. You bring him, let him run that, let him be part of that. Their mentor. And man, I really like Diamond Mine. I like everyone. Now they got past Paxley. It looks good. They could kick out Roderick Strong. He could betrayed him. We shall see what happens. The match started really well. Before all that, you saw Kemp getting some near falls with some elbow drops. You saw Roderick recovers for some hits, taking the belly-to-belly suplex. Kemp got it. He could wrestle. What was your impression? Let me go to Samurai, because we were in the building. Samurai on camera, on TV. How did those moves between Strong? Because you've seen Roderick with Strong when he was with the Undisputed Elite. Talk to me.
Well, it was. The Undisputed Elite, you say. I know it's Undisputed Era, but he wants to be part of the Undisputed Elite with his boyfriend Adam Cole.
Bay.
I realistically, I don't really. I like Roderick Strong, even though he's boring and he's not really that good. Last night he wasn't. Well, exactly. He was fired up. Usually he's boring, but last night he was on a different level, and I liked it. I did. I guess it takes the Don, to get him. There you go. To get him fired up. To get him fired up, man. I like it. They need some faction warfare going on.
Oh yeah, the whole losing Elgato, the other faction definitely messed everything up with the D'Angelo family and the Gatto family.
I'm going to tell you like this. When that happened, I was kind of like, why? For what reason? They don't need to do that. Like, have one of them go to the main roster, because Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma, they're ready to go to the main roster. Really.
That match between that 3-on-3 tag team, I was there in house for that. That was at In Your House. Amazing. That card, by the way, that night. If I wish I could be on this podcast for that card. That card at In Your House, amazing. But no, I love what they're doing with the factions between Diamond Mine. NXT's kind of got the faction storyline game down way better than the main rosters between their three main factions.
Well, there are really no real main factions on the main roster except for the Judgment Day and the Bloodline.
Yeah,
and they don't really have a third member for the Judgment Day yet. So
yeah, with Ripley still being her, who knew that was going to go from what looked like, I remember watching the match, what looked like some broken teeth to a concussion to now, hope she's getting better. Yeah, but yeah, and, brain injury and everything. No, Diamond might look great. Roderick Strong, I know you want to get the news part later, but because we're on it, rumor has it that he's turned in his notice. He's, I think all of his friends and his wife are all at the other company. He's doing his best to sell it, but you can kind of see. So there's some more behind the scenes stuff. During commercial break, whenever they enter, a lot of the wrestlers, sometimes performers, they'll just kind of be in the ring stretching. But then there's some people like Roderick who he'll BS with the crowd and play into it, and his mood is very much not like trying to sell his character. It's, hey guys, how you doing? Nice talking with you. Oh yeah, I'll get you a jacket. Hey buddy, how you doing? Like he seems ready to go, but he's doing. I love Creed to come out. Maybe it might just be the Creeds. Maybe it all just might transfer to the Creeds and then they run it. I don't know.
To that extent, like me and Kevin, we talked about this to in nauseam. But if he goes to AEW, we're gonna just he's just gonna be lost in mediocrity, really. Like if you know what I'm talking about, Kevin knows what I'm talking about. But like it's nothing but mediocrity there. I mean, I get he wants to be with Adam Cole and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, but what is he gonna fulfill there? There's nothing for him to do.
Well, his wife works there too.
I mean, I know Marina Shapiro works there.
Yeah,
but she's not doing much of anything, is she?
She's terrible, but
yeah,
happy wife, happy life.
Happy life. I mean, you're all together now. Yeah, instead of having to drive. I mean, because I assume he drives in from that Jacksonville area to Orlando. It's only about an hour and 20 minutes straight shot. So, but I love what he's doing. I mean, he's solid performer. If they call him up to the main, I would love for him to go to the main roster. But do I see it happening?
No.
I mean, realistically, Cody Rhodes wants to fight him too. So I mean, that's on Cody's list. Cody wants to take on Roderick Strong.
I think. See, I love the what ifs. What if Cody didn't get hurt? Would Roderick stay like this? So, see,
he wanted out prior to that. He's been asking since February.
Yeah, but it looks like he's officially turning in and might get it granted. Is the rumor mill going around today with yesterday with him?
Yeah, I think that I could see him leaving. Now we saw first and foremost during the match. We saw a promo backstage. Hey, Tony D'Angelo, my guys, we were beating the crap out of Diamond Mine, the Creed brothers in the back. Where Damien Kemp stopped in the match to show Roderick what's going on, but Roderick kept it going, and he still nailed him. He got his finisher and got the pin there. I was like, ooh, that was pretty interesting. That was like, ooh, so, sell out one-way street. He gets the victory there. We all knew. I like the way because they didn't bury Damien Kemp to take a loss there. It was a distraction. I thought the finish was perfect. To me, it worked perfect. It didn't need any more flavor or anything there. I thought it was fine. You agree? What are your thoughts, Charles? Anything different on that ending?
No, couldn't agree with you totally. Great finish. Did the whole, hey man, look, and just caught him with that knee. Done, and then run. I love how he sells out of the ring too. He gets up, come on, Damien, come on, man, it was great.
Right, yeah. I loved it too. And you see, Damien was trying to get his wits just to get back, crawling to get to the back to the Creed brothers. Samurai, what's your thoughts on? Do you think he was going to get there in time?
No, he wasn't. He tried his best, but he wasn't going to get there in time.
I like when he tells Damien, "What took you so long?"
Like I said, I mean, Roddy's naturally funny, but he just doesn't. At this point, he's just going through the motions. He doesn't want to be there, and you can see in his actions sometimes. So
he sells it in the face, though. He sells it had me laughing.
Yeah, that's what he was actually interesting yesterday. From all the other days that he's boring and he doesn't want to be there, You could tell. It just shows. Everyone in the NXT universe knows and sees that he doesn't want to be there.
I mean, it's pretty unfortunate. I mean, see, I think what it is because, like, when Kyle O'Reilly was there, what was Roderick Strong doing? Nothing. And then when Adam left, and then Bobby left, it all came to a realization for him. It was like, do I want to stay in the company where my friends are no longer,
That, and also look, I'm gonna deviate a little bit from the podcast, from the NXT podcast. When these wrestlers, when you're in the WWE, and even Cody said it on a podcast, if you're really into this business of wrestling, and if you come to a company like the WWE, it is a 5 to 6 day a week performance. You have to be traveling in the ring, and while some guys don't want to work that schedule load, so that's why they prefer an AEW. There's nothing wrong with that. They wrestle only live once a week. They rarely have any house shows. They only had it last Saturday for Dark, so they maybe twice a week not even, and that's it. And these performers, it looks, and by the way they could tell, the way they in-ring performance, they don't even practice their matches. Some of these matches with them are sloppy. They botch moves, and WWE has a higher standard. And I think some of these wrestlers want to go to the Club Med of professional wrestling, get a nice paycheck because you're an ex-WWE guy, and you're not demanded so much like WWE performance-wise and outside of the ring. And I think that's why some of these folks want to go. They hear from their friends, oh, we only come once a week. And I got to travel. I got to go work here. It's like, that's those are the pros and cons, in my opinion. I don't know.
To piggyback on what you're saying, you can kind of see by who signs with AEW. Like, some of the guys are good, and like they think it's almost like a lot of them. I feel like the grass is greener on the other side is how they view it. And then you have the ones that are like, I'm here for a paycheck. And then I look at the ones who Brain Wyatt not signing is a big indicator on where, because he's a worker. He's a worker and he's a storyteller. I don't know which comes first. You choose. But him not going there is a big indicator that that's not the spot for the next step. What is, I don't know, really, to be honest. But I do like the path NXT's been going on lately.
Yeah, Samurai, anything there before we move to the next segment?
No, not really. We kind of veered off course a little bit there.
Yeah, just a little bit, not much. That's why it all ties in on why we think Roderick Strong wants to leave to NXT. I mean, leave NXT to AEW possible, and other wrestlers in the past. You want to see them jumping ship. We saw Tony. We saw Stacks. Was it Stacks or Two Dimes? Two Dimes.
He got cut though.
Right, for having a wellness policy. Wow, we don't know what was the substance, because the HIPAA laws and whatever the case. I'm not going to say, he was taking dose on so. But don't you find erotic? About 2 weeks later, he's signing with AEW. So WWE has a wellness policy, and you violate it 2 weeks later.
Did he sign, or did he just contract for a match? Because he did a dark match. I don't know if he signed. I thought he just contracted I heard he contracted for a match.
He's part of that facet now that he, with the trio facet. I don't know. Maybe it was a contract match.
I don't know. I just know he was there. All I know is he did one dark match on AEW Dark. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about that's the one reason why I don't like AEW. They got to stop doing that. People have to stop signing with a company, like just to stick to your former company. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. Why do it? I mean, you want to wrestle, that's fine. Just don't wrestle for the competition right away.
They got to make money.
Yeah, it's also not like
they got to make money and they got to eat.
Or that, I mean, I see that.
And I just don't like you said, getting cut for the wellness policy. You don't watch someone get cut. It happens in the professional sports leagues where someone gets cut for, if you get cut for violating the substance abuse policy in the NFL, like, you're on a list that you can't come play again. And I know they're two different companies, but I guess it's up to them to disclose what they want. I feel like if you're cut for the wellness policy, it's not steroids. You were taking something that could injure the other person while wrestling. Like you were on it while wrestling, and or they had fear of that, and that's why they cut you. Because I know he had one strike against him for personal reasons. That's a rumor. That he was dating the young lady from Chase U when she was still in high school. So yeah, we're going off the rumor mill. Sorry, let's get back to
that. I know that's part of the news and notes and rumors because we're bringing to the light with it all ties in with the why Roderick Strong wants to leave. That's all it is with it. But yeah, let's get right back to the NXT program. We have a tag titles, but the United Kingdom tag team champions, Josh Briggs and Brooke Jensen taking on one of my favorite tag teams, Pretty Deadly. Ooh, yes, boy. Man, Pretty Deadly with that getup. What was your thoughts, Charles, when you saw that come out in the cow?
Love it. Like it reminded me of Seth Rollins coming out in the polka dot outfit. It's very much poking of the bear. I'm gonna make you look foolish. Loved it. Besides their pants ripping, both of them in the crotch. The outfits were great.
Oh my God. Samurai.
Happened? I didn't see that.
Oh, Debbie, I was going to ask you this question. Did it come across on TV when everyone in NXT started chanting Tidy Whities?
No, I didn't hear that.
Man, well, I think it was Elton Prince pants ripped, and he had white and not ripped. They were ripping, tearing like it was cheap fabric.
Like where the crotch lines, like right at your underwear, like ball butt line, yeah,
right, both of them. Kit was wearing black trunks, and Elton Prince was wearing white, and we all started with the Tidy Whitey chants because you could see it whenever they were on the floor doing the headlocks and the moves. You could see that there, but all in all, they kept that going. Good performers. They kept mimicking and doing their Pretty Deadly stuff, and boy, those two are great. Josh Briggs and Jensen, they're getting better week after week, Charles. What do you right? I noticed that they much more natural tag team, and Briggs is only 20 years old. You know that, right?
Briggs is, you can tell they're building around Briggs, just by his spots in the match and what's going on. Jensen, Jensen's a work. He looks like he's going to be a worker. Together. What me and my girl said it last night. They're less security. They're like APA, but less security guard and more just like country badass.
I could see I was going to say that he reminds Jensen reminds me of JBL. There's a JBL in him. The way he just hits the lariats and the way he performs and picks and slams his opponents, I see like a JBL 2.0. And
you mean Briggs, right? The taller one's Briggs.
Briggs, am I got him backwards? No, yeah, the brunette, not the curly hair, not the one that not the one with the broken hair.
I thought I got him confused.
I probably got him confused. I got him confused because.
Briggs is the taller one, the brunette.
Okay, so Briggs, he looks like a JBL. He is being groomed like that.
I was waiting for him to hit the clothesline from hell last night.
Oh my God, his moves are just vicious. He's vicious, and I love the angle with Pretty Deadly with the tag titles. Samurai, did you think when Pretty Deadly took those titles and took one and they threw the other way? I thought there were going to be I thought there was going to be a title change. I thought Pretty Deadly was going to be up to shenanigans, and there was going to be a title change. Were you surprised with the outcome?
No, not really. I mean, because I'm going to say it like this: the United Kingdom title, the United Kingdom tag title, should be defended on the United Kingdom show. Like, I mean, I know why they did it in the States, but like it should be defended on the United Kingdom show. They're the United Kingdom Tag Team Champions, not the U.S. Tag Team Champions. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just feel like that's where they should be depicted as the champions.
Now we saw the champions defend their titles, continue and be champions. Although before that match, we saw when Prince took a deadly fall and knocked the crap out of Fallon Henley on the floor there. And boy, for us on being in person, it looked much more vicious than it really was. Right, Charles?
Yeah.
We were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, we had that dead where we were at is right where they go up the stairs, so we were looking right at her ringside, and I mean it didn't even it didn't even look like she was looking at him coming either. That's why it looked like she talk about keep your head on a swivel, and they got knocked. I was with you too, Don. I thought whenever they got those titles, I was like, okay, here we go. We're gonna now have Briggs and Jensen having to earn these things back. I thought it was a title change was coming.
Yeah, I thought that too, and I was pleasantly surprised. I'm a big Pretty Deadly sucker. I thought that they were going to be maximum male models for Max Dupree and SmackDown because, like I said, remember we were talking about they need tag team, and I said, man, Pretty Deadly as a tag team was phenomenal. And then when Max Dupree, formerly Knight, said my models, and he made it plural before we saw these two guys come out, Mansoor and I was like, whoa, I think it's going to be Pretty Deadly. And then then see when Pretty Deadly dropped the tag titles, to the Creed, I was like, yes, it's gonna be the Pretty Deadly. I was trying to put two people on dot the lines, and I didn't know it was gonna be who they were. But I thought, but if Pretty Deadly wins the UK title and brings him back, I kind of don't want it because I don't want Pretty Deadly to go to UK either. It's like taking a step back, and there's nothing wrong with Briggs and Jensen with those tag titles, because I think to us it adds them more. To me, it makes them elevate them more as, oh, they had the tags. Remember, were you there when they first came home with the titles on NXT?
No, yeah, I was there. Yeah, I was there. I've only missed
welcomed them like champions.
From April to now, I've only missed probably 2 NXT live events. I think it was like the fan appreciate 2 times last night, and then one other time, and no, like the Briggs and Jensen, they're big time there. And I think why they gave them the UK titles, they've earned them. Earned the UK titles is because you have the Creed brothers, and you have them, and the Creeds have kind of turned babyface kind of quickly because of Roderick, and then Briggs and Jensen are just lovable badass baby faces.
Right, and yeah, definitely there. So. We'll see where that UK title, if they're going to keep featuring it on NXT week after week. Hey, I have no problem with it. I know Samurai wants to see it more in the UK show. We also, is that fully in England, or is that because it seems like it's taped in the United States over to England, Samurai?
I mean, yeah, I can see that, but also at the same time, I just don't understand why. They have tag teams and stuff over in the United Kingdom, so why would they? Who lost to who was hurt?
My question: Do you know off the top of it? Is it live from England when they do the NXT UK, or is it United States? Like is in a performance center that gets televised live to UK from the United States?
No, it's live in the UK.
Yeah.
Okay, because we saw a couple weeks ago, Lash Legend was out there wrestling. They sent a whole crop of the NXT guys or guys.
Chase University went over there. That was the weird thing. Last week they did like the whole Chase University was there, and then the promo they showed on TV was Chase University in the UK.
Yes, that was So that's why I asked. That's why I made it ask. Like, is it in Orlando televised through UK Live, and all these performers are here? That's why I asked. That's why I asked that question. Didn't know that, so we move on from that. There. Now we come to the biggest reveal since the gender reveal parties. Yes, the dyads. We get to see who, as the New Days will say, who they are. Now, Samurai, we're gonna say you're the veteran NXT guy here on the program. When you saw the unveiling of these guys, what's your thoughts?
I was as I said, before we went live to Charles, I think that it's a good thing because they're pretty boring and pretty stale. I mean, you're gonna realize that the Grizzled Young Veterans are you know they were going nowhere. They weren't gonna win titles. They were going to win titles. They weren't going to. There you go. There's the other version. I don't know what their names are now. I forget, honestly.
I get them in a minute.
Man,
it's Jagger Reed and Rip Fowler.
Okay.
Yeah, their names are already better.
They basically what they did was they basically Americanized him. I mean, they did sort of speak with an American accent. I don't know if you heard it, but they didn't sound like they were from the United Kingdom. They sounded more Americanized.
Gotcha.
And let me ask you this, Charles. Remember, we were watching the promo, the Dyads, before they got unveiled. He kind of like did like a baptism type of deal. And
yeah, I was curious if that's what he was doing. And then I don't know if you bring that picture back up. Also, you see that one came up when he did the baptism. It looked when he did it, they had like the light shine on each of them. You know, Jagger came up in all white, and then Fallon came up in all black. And then if you look, their eyes, each eyes are different. So one that has the weird eye is not the same one that has that other weird eye. So I'm loving the little nuances that they're doing in the characters, but definitely did not catch on to the Americanizing of it. So I'm wondering where they're going to go with it, where they're going to kind of do now with this gimmick, especially if Joey's going up. If Gacy's going up to the main roster, what's the point of these guys now? They're just going to kind of be on their own?
Maybe that's why they've unveiled them. They're going to be the new, schism, because they're going to stay part of that schism tree and grow, let it branch out while he goes and beats Planted and Root. I am going to be planted and root somewhere else. And I'm going
I didn't hear about him being caught up to the main roster. When is this happening, apparently?
No, I'm saying.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of the guys in that promo with Edge that we think is Edge. It might be him. You never know. You never know with WWE.
It's the first time he actually came out not in all black, Joey Gacy. He was at like a navy blue. Yeah, he's not in all black and anything. And that's what I was wondering where he's going with this Cameron Grimes things. Like maybe, is Cameron going to come take over? Is Cameron now part of the feud? There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of good questions that I like with this, where this is going between Joey, the Dyads, and Cameron.
I agree with you on that. Would definitely agree with that.
I do feel as though, yes, I now that I'm thinking about it, yes, I do feel they could add more. They could add more. Like it's like a judgment day type of thing. Mm-hmm. They could add more, but like when is too much? When is enough? If that makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm against it because I'm not. Yeah. I mean, I love everything about what they're doing. It's just. I just want to see I don't want to see a really quick payoff. If that makes sense. Like, yeah. When is the next premium? I can't speak right now.
Premium live event. It's so different. I'm used to pay-per-view, man. Pay-per-view. It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. When's the next pay-per-view for NXT?
I don't know. I thought it was supposed to be, but since SummerSlam is Saturday. So I guess we're gonna have to wait for a while because if SummerSlam was on a Sunday, NXT would have had their premium live event on a Saturday. So it's interesting to see because remember when WrestleMania was 2 nights, they made it at 12 o'clock for Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, so they did. And they did do that, which was a bad idea, but at the same time, it was also a good idea because you got wrestling and then you got more wrestling. So
if you're a wrestling enthusiast, you loved it. I loved it. I watched. Yeah. That's how I started getting involved with NXT because I watched it from the very beginning. That's from Stand and Deliver. I started following more, and I said, you know what, I want to see more. That match with Raquel Rodriguez and Cora Jade got me hooked. Raquel Gonzalez at that time got me hooked when Toxic Attraction. But I digress from that. But We shall see when is the next live premium event. I like the fact that they could add here a fourth member. Remember, we were talking about facets, Legado Fantasma, the familia. You know, we got Tony D'Angelo and only really him and Stacks are the only two. We'd like to see maybe they add another, you know, to replace when they break up, because you want to make even balance, even low there when eventually Legado Fantasma turns. So we want to see that. We also have now with the schism, you could go with Joel Gacy and his schisms or his dyads, or with Ripley, and you know, going forward, that's another facet. You know, give me more. I don't mind. You know, Creed, the Diamond Mine, that's another group. So they are making the storyline with groups phenomenal. Let me give you some fantasy booking. Let's say Tony D'Angelo gets over with his family. You know, maybe get some other guys who are season ready. He goes up to the main roster and challenges the bloodline. They go beat up Solo Sikoa and just bam, like, you know, go after the bloodline. At least the Usos. That'd be some.
See, I would love an extension of the families, like almost like you have the NXT chapter, and now you got the SmackDown chapter, and then they put some in Raw, and now Tony's the true
yes.
like almost like, you know, you have the New York branch, you have the Chicago, like, you know, like the Bloods and Crips, they have all the different chapters, all that sort of stuff. Like, make the family spread so that way it's like, and make the Diamond Mine spread. It's, you know, you start in NXT and then you become the Diamond Mine and Raw and SmackDown. I would love for that, because then you could really get the booking going.
You really could, because you just keep storyline long, and that's also long-term booking with fresh faces, but it's the same stable. You know,
and you keep the gang war mentality going on, the faction versus faction, the numerous factions, the individual leaders, the battle for the Intercontinental, one's got ground because of the NXT champions, and just I think it can really expand.
Indeed, you could get that going, because remember, one thing that helped a lot of NWA back in our day was the Four Horsemen. You wanted to see whose thing got grouped together to go up the Four Horsemen. The Four Horsemen involved too. Remember, we know it was Arn Anderson, Tony Blanchard, Ole Anderson, Baron Windham, DJ Dillon. They kept refreshing the Horsemen. That's what those kind of facets will be phenomenal.
And then WCW got back to Arn Anderson, Ric Flair. They even at one point you had Benoit was one of the Four Horsemen. You know, I know that's a name that's not popular, but you know, as a wrestler, he stood let's not talk about the man real quick. The wrestler was still phenomenal in the ring.
Yes, he was really good in the ring with his talent. Yeah, I like that. I like that kind of idea, that long-term booking, that fresh, and you know, give it to some writers. You know, as long as they don't NWO it. You know, when I meant NWO, when they started going Wolfpack, LWO, BWO, you know, they started getting goofy with that.
NWO squad, NWA squad. Yeah, it kind of was everywhere.
Yeah, it was a little bit of everybody. Everybody was in the NWO. Go ahead.
The Latino World, that was Eddie Guerrero and
Chavo, Alpaca,
La Porca.
Not Chavo, Juventud Guerrero. Man, one of the favorite finishers of all time.
Isn't he a part of the Guerrero family, or is that just his last name? Because I don't think they're related.
Juventud Guerrero. Well, Guerrero wasn't part of them.
You sure he's not Chavo's brother? Because I know Chavo and Eddie are cousins. So you sure Juvi isn't Chavo's brother?
I don't think so. We could always double check. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But even though it's a proud history there, but you could do something with the Legado Fantasma, because that's why I've been telling Samurai before. I was saying Legado Fantasma is ready to go to the main roster, because you also have Los Lotarios. You know, bring them in there, let them have a Latin group. You know, and Lotarios. You know, I know they were a joke kid with the kiss cam and stuff, but that last match with the Usos, although it was a squash match a couple of weeks ago, they looked phenomenal. Yep. They impressed the living daylights. And we know, whilst watching Legado Fantasma with Wilder and Cruz Toro, and they could go too. They might be a little too short, but they could go. But there's unity and strength, and there's facets that they could do long-term booking. I like that. I'm gonna
carry on with that, because like I think with Stephanie in charge now, well, she's not really in charge, but you know, with her as CEO, she might be a little bit more open to more than Vince was. You know, I feel like she could be like more open to working with other places like I don't know, New Japan or Impact or I can't think of any other wrestling promotion right now. But
AJ Styles actually did a thing a little bit after Stephanie took over. AJ came on to Impact and did some stuff. So I agree with you, man, Samurai. Yeah, that door. And who came out? I think it was Xavier or Kofi came out the other day in an interview, or last week in an interview, talking about that forbidden door. That, hey, they've crossed over into our forbidden door. We're ready to go to the, like, he's like, I would love to go on Impact, I think, or another program and do a match on that program.
I mean, and I heard somewhere, I think I heard it or I saw it somewhere that Tony Khan, the man who runs AEW, he doesn't know how to book his talent correctly. It's true. He wants to work with WWE.
Oh yeah, that's why he let Daniel Bryanson and all them do those videos for Cena on Cena's 20th anniversary.
Do you think they're gonna do the same thing? There he is.
Yeah, there he is.
The man who can't book.
He can. I mean, he can't run a football team either. Let's just be honest. The Jaguar. You hired Urban Meyer. We won't. This is a This is NXT podcast, but yeah, no, he can't. He's not really a good booker. Is Jericho off booking, by the way, at AEW?
I think he is.
Yeah, Tony Khan books everything. That's why Cody left.
Well, that makes sense now. I knew Cody left for executive reasons. I didn't know it was for booking purpose. I mean, how are you going to not let the American Nightmare book? I mean, God, he's the You don't think Dusty sprinkled a little bit of his booking knowledge onto him?
And he had a chip on his shoulder that he wanted to bury WWE, and you had the right guy that wanted to bury the company, and you took that power away from him. And he said, "You know, I'm going back and join where I wanted to bury. I want to redeem myself." Was a mistake there. Not to digress from that there. But that's exactly what happened. But we'll finish this conversation because we have more that I would like to get into. Let's finish the NXT review here with Bron Breakker coming down and cutting a promo. We all got excited to see the NXT champion. Always good to see the NXT champion come in. He's just a star in the making. I know people don't like starting the time with his promo, but I like to see Bron Breakker. I to me, he just gets me excited. I'm invested. Him with but JD McDonagh promo was, oh my God, that was like, that was rough. Samurai, how did that look on TV with JD McDonagh? Be honest, what is that promo?
It was not great. I don't know what they're doing. I guess they're trying to make him like a expert psychologist or expert, like he can what is it? Like he can dissect you.
Yeah, it's a surgeon.
There you go. Yeah, he can surgically dissect you in so many different ways in the ring that he will basically take off Bron Breakker's shoulders. What he's saying.
How did it look, Bron Breakker look? Because like our view, we got to see Bron Breakker the whole time. How did some of it? Did you get to see a lot of his reactions? I did a quick look on the TV replay when I got home, but I haven't seen it since. I didn't skim through it. Did you see a lot of his reactions? Because he was he was playing us up really good in the crowd. Like that's what I love about him. He's taken a great page from Roman and playing the crowd during his in-ring stuff.
Indeed.
I didn't see any of that. I mean, I saw him like when they put the camera back on him, I saw some of, but not all of it. So it was just like, I don't know. It was weird.
Someone called him, and he played on it. Someone called him JD McNugget. And Breakker just lost his shit laughing. Like he was, and then someone goes, "Hey, Bron, he's JD McNugget," and he just looks and starts laughing his ass off.
Yes, that's one thing about Bron Breakker. He acknowledges the crowd. He really plays it. And unfortunately, some people think he don't look great on TV or cutting promos. Is that because he listens to the NXT crowd and he waits and he gives a reaction towards the crowd? It may not look good on TV, but for us who are in audience, he's actually showing his appreciation for us coming to see him.
Yeah.
And that's what gets lost in translation from people that are sitting at home, from us that are in there. He appreciates and he shows it to us. Another one I kept saying, Indy Hartwell, another one that appreciates the NXT community.
I thought she was gonna. We'll go there, but if you go back and watch the TV version, when Braun's leaving the ring, he says it. He says exactly what you say. He goes, "It's so fucking great to see you guys again." Like he's saying that as he's leaving the ring, and if you listen, the TV cameras caught it.
Right, and that's what we like about Bron Breakker. I love the part when he tells him, "You know what, JD? When you see that mannequin, why don't you take those balls from that mannequin and grow some and come out here?"
Oh, love it.
Loved it. Loved it. It's like, yes, yeah. Breakker, yes. Take that credits. I was more happy for him to go up after the critics and say he's one of the boringest NXT champions. I don't know what they want from this guy.
Everyone used to say, I mean, Samurai, you might not know it, but it used to be if they could make Rick and Scott one person, it'd be a perfect wrestler because Rick had the moves, Scott had the mic skills, and Bron Breakker is that. Bron Breakker can do everything his dad and uncle could do on the mic and in the ring, and I was at the not in your house. I was at In Your House for Joey Gacy and Great American Bash, and that man has that explosion. And if they can build him, he can be someone that you can believe a year into him being in the main roster could take on a Brock and Roman and win, and not be a shocker win, be a legit, not screwy 1, 2, 3.
I agree with you on that. So that's going to set up. They look like that's the new feud for going on forward. Then we saw some footage from Friday night SmackDown in our home backyard in Orlando, Florida, and we see Solo Sikoa going in there. I wonder why he's going to go to SmackDown on Friday nights, but we all know why. But then he gets stopped right there, right underneath the I-4 path by Von Wagner. Samurai, I ask you the question: what's a Von Wagner?
What is a Von Wagner, indeed? I still don't know.
That's an inside joke that he just every week he says that. I loved it. I when I did the SmackDown review on the program, I said I was disappointed with the Orlando showing of SmackDown. To the fact is, you have NXT in the Performance Center in your backyard, only less than 5 miles away. It's just a 10-minute, not even 10-minute drive, 5-minute drive on the highway. Why in the world you didn't have any of the NXT either undercard, dark matches, or even interfere in the match? Something like that you're like, whoa, what the heck's going on? And then you're showcasing. You could watch these guys go at it at NXT Live Tuesday nights on USA. You're still promoting the same brand, but you're bringing that new audience from SmackDown that maybe hasn't seen it into Tuesday nights. And also, they have a fight up and down the arena. Even if it's in the arena, let them go at it. I thought it would have been phenomenal. And then you're showing that the Usos have another brother. There's another storyline with the bloodline, but in NXT now. People love Roman Reigns. They can see they're going to look there. Well, Charles, I'll elaborate with me here. Preach to the choir. You're muted.
Am I good now? So it's like it's like I was saying. Go with the building of the different chapters. Now you have an Uso. I know he wants to avoid it. I know Solo's trying to avoid, and the rumor has that they tried bringing him up, or they wanted to bring him up in a role with the Uso, and he just didn't want to be another Uso. And I get that, but man, expand it. Let instead of just beating him up and leaving him there. Do what and I know it'd be a redo at what they did at NXT, but not everyone saw that at NXT. Have them fight throughout Smack, have them interrupt a match just because they're brawling, and then be like, these guys are brawling from last Tuesday to this Friday. Like, build it up. It brings a new crowd in, because I had some friends, they're part of the Grayson Waller section. They went to SmackDown. They weren't wearing anything Grayson Waller, and as soon as they walked in the door, they had people. As soon as they walked into their section for seats, they had people yelling, "Fuck Grayson Waller! We hate the Grayson Waller section." So there's people watching SmackDown that are spotting these NXT people. Bring it in. You can expand it. You can you, like I said, you could have different chapters. Now you have a war between a faction war between 3 different brands now is what you could do.
I loved it. Samurai,
Yeah.
your thoughts on them? Would you want to see that? Personally, I'll let you go real quick here. I would love them Brawl SmackDown. NXT's Tuesday. It's only a 45 to an hour drive to Amelia's Arena on Monday Night Raw. Let them brawl there too. Yes, I would have been like, no, go for it. Here we go. What's going on? Oh my God! Samurai, what's your thoughts on that with the Bron? This battle that, and I thought Bron Wagner looked like a monster, a beast. I loved it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that yes, I agree. I agree with everything that you both said. I think that they should have done that, but they missed the boat. This opportunity. I mean, because people don't generally watch NXT because if they just go and say, hey, you know what, this is what's happening on this program, you should just check it out, something like that. But they don't do that.
Nah, they missed the boat on that, man. Unfortunate situation there with it. I can't wait to see these guys go at it. Von Wagner looked much more better without Stokely. I mean, without Rod Stone and Miss Cromwell. I just thought he was just a badass monster. Go at it. I love it. Just let him go. I love it there.
He sounds good on the mic. I don't know why he needs the extra. I never got it.
Yeah, so he don't need a mouthpiece. There's some other guys that might need it. He kind of don't need it. Maybe that's why they put Ron Stone in the trash. Maybe they move away from that a little bit.
Didn't think about that.
I mean, like I said, I think I told you just last week when we did that review for that show. Yes,
you did say that. Oh, so he'll be back. He'll be back in. He always has a little bit of a click issue there. Okay. Yeah, there's always. I'm surprised he lasted as long without the clicking out. He'll be back right in. Give him like 2 minutes. There, we shall see. There, he mentioned that with the Ron Stone and showing, and he was spot on last week on there. Samurai, I know you were talking about Rod Stone in last week's program.
Oh yeah, sorry, technical difficulties. We're live. Anything can happen. What was I saying? Yeah, I mean, I think he just, they're going away from it, but because he did it it's the second time it's happening. When Rhea Ripley did it, when they were feuding, I guess. I really don't know what they're doing with the character for Robert Stone because he can wrestle. I don't know why they don't let him wrestle. I don't know if anybody watched Impact back in the day, but he was in a tag team with somebody. I forget who it was. But
didn't he get hurt though? Isn't it because of health reasons he can't wrestle?
I don't think so. I never heard anything about him being injured.
I might be confusing with someone else then from Impact then, because I know there's someone just from back in the day that they're just a mic piece now from an injury.
It might be Jesse Goddard's, but he wasn't a bromance with Robbie E or Robert Stone. Let's call him Robbie E. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like he doesn't necessarily need to be on NXT. He's like what 40 years old, something like that. So he can go to the main roster and succeed.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I forgot about his Impact days. Impact TNA in our backyard.
Yeah, in Orlando.
Yeah, that's was the Jeff Jarrett started that up, and then who else? He didn't have Hulk Hogan come in, but he started up with someone else from the very beginning. No, was it all just him? Either way, those were some fun little matches back. I was like 2007, 2008. Oh man.
Well, technically TNA started in 2002. So
yeah,
they just had their 20 year anniversary last month.
Last month they had the 20 year anniversary for them.
That's when AJ Styles came back on and did. That's when Stephanie let AJ do his little thing.
I just hope that how Stephanie can, and she, like I said, she understands what the people want. She understands more than Vince. She's not stuck in the bubble the WWE bubble basically, so she can branch out if she chooses to. But Vince probably won't let her because Vince is
I call it Al Davis syndrome, where they just if you like Jerry Jones is doing it, and well, he's a protege of Al Davis, but they go back to what won them back in the day instead of looking at the future and how adapting. So like Al Davis, Jamarcus Russell came around, and Al Davis was like, I don't got many years left trying to win a Super Bowl. What got me a Super Bowl? Someone tall and fast, and someone that can throw the rock deep. So who did he do? Drafted Jamarcus Russell. Kept doing that. Then who did he get later off free agency? He got Kerry Collins and Randy Moss. And then Jerry Jones. Look what Jerry Jones is trying to do. Look what he did a few years ago. He got a big O-line and drafted a running back. So I just feel like when these guys hit this old age, it's like Vince was progressing and moving, the attitude era, all this, and then all of a sudden they hit this age and just went right back to the 80s. Right back to everyone's a garbage man. Everyone had their gimmick is an occupation, and I know we're not there yet, but like that's why what you said, Samurai, was Steph. Like I think Steph is gonna get him out of that, or just be like, Dad, sorry, you're overruled. Like you're done.
I mean, technically, he still runs creative, so
yeah, he's 100% charge. Everything goes through him.
I think he should get out of that role. The creative role, because he has. I mean, he may be a genius, but he's not a genius anymore. He's 70. What is he? 73 years old. 77 years old. He's in his 70s, so he's up there.
More opinion. I think he still got it. He just gotta have more opinion and more open, or have an open mind, with the times. But we'll see.
He needs to accept that he's wrong. It's like they tell, like when Vince Russo was in charge of creative, it's like everyone say like Vince Russo would throw 10 ideas against the wall and Vince would pick out the best 3. And like I feel like Vince is now throwing 10 ideas against the wall and saying all 10 are perfect. It doesn't matter which one you choose because I say they are. And I don't think he has someone to say, no, we're not doing those. We're doing that.
He basically, everybody's a yes man that's around Vince. Like
that's what they say a lot. Pritchard is a yes man. That's what that's the rumor mill. That's what they always say. They're upset with the direction with that. But we shall see there. Let's go with the next match here. The debut of Axiom, aka the former A-Kid. I'm gonna say it's short and sweet. When that match came, I went for a walk and went to use the urinal.
I'm pissed that they did it with. They didn't even let Dante get his entrance, and Dante got a loud Axion's opponent got a louder pop on his entrance. Than Axiom did. There's no investment for me right now. The vignettes weren't great. The entrance, I'm more invested in who he squashed at this point than actually him.
Yes.
I mean,
Samurai, yeah. What's your thoughts?
I was going to say, they're doing the whole superhero thing, and look at how that worked for Nikki Cross.
Yeah, but she talks.
Well, true. She does talk. But at the same time, Axiom, or A-Kid, I mean, he's not really, he doesn't speak much. It seems like he doesn't have to talk. I mean, he can let his actions do the talking for him. But
yeah, but is he supposed to be like, because Nikki is like a funny but badass? Is he supposed to be that, or is he going for like the opposite of the Hurricane Helms?
I think. Are you talking about Axiom or
no Axiom? Do you think Axiom's going to like not have like a funny character to him, or do you think he's going to be the serious superhero?
He should be serious. I mean, I don't like the funny. I mean, I love Nikki Cross. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like the funny. The funny does not work in the wrestling business now. It should.
I like Ichiman. Yujiro.
The jacket, yeah, I love it.
I love him.
I mean, okay. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna agree with you on that because Ikeman Jiro is great.
We got you one. We got you on one.
Ikeman Jiro is great. People don't understand Ikeman because they don't know how he's they don't know how he works. I mean, when he was with Kushida, that was not great to me. I mean, because Kushida's more serious than funny. Kushida's got that. He doesn't seem to have that, that funny factor to him. If that makes sense.
Funny grace, yeah.
Yeah. Like, to me, Ikemen is like, I want to say this generation of Yoshitatsu.
Okay, I like that comparison. Now, do you think, Axiom, to kind of go off just real quick, do you think he actually has a chance to like contend for some titles, or like I just don't know where the gimmick's going. I don't know where, like, I was looking at his mask, and you can almost see his face clear as day through the camera replay, through the TV. Yeah.
I mean, what do you remind me of? He remind me of like Sin Cara when he first came out back in 2011.
Yeah, he does look like Sin Cara. But we were in NXT. Some of the folks were saying it's morphing time, as we see in the chat.
Yeah. I saw a couple people in the crowd do the Wakanda Forever, and because the masks look very Black Panther, copyright, so know what we can say.
You know what? I hope they don't do this. Like you said, you don't like the comedy. Remember how a couple of weeks ago Apollo Crew was talking like he's a superhero out in the mean streets, saving people from getting robbed. I'm like, please don't put these two as superhero type of deal.
Did you watch his entrance, by the way, Exion's entrance? What they did with the camera? Samurai, what do you think of that? Well, I didn't see it till afterwards. What do you think about when you were first watching it, man?
I thought I was going like as a trip.
Yeah, did you not see it, Don?
Yeah, I
remember. I went up and I had a couple waters and
what I saw was I felt like I was in a hallucination. Like, what?
So they fucked with. So if you watch the TV replay, Don, they did this like camera work where they try to make it look like. Have you ever seen like the Flash? How he's got the trail of himself.
Yes.
They did that. So like so when he went back and forth in the entrance ring,
didn't they steal it from Nathan Frazier? Remember how Nathan Frazier comes out?
Yeah.
He has an awesome entrance.
So they made it like a flat, like he was moving so quick you could only see the trail of his body. Axiom, the super. Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, you basically you have to watch it back. Just watch that. Just watch that back, and you'll see what we're talking about. It was nauseating and made me feel like I was on an acid trip, and I don't do drugs. So.
Especially when he went in the ring, and then you had the NXT crowd in the background moving on top of that. It just didn't look good.
It was horrible. I mean, they really dropped the ball with Axiom. I mean, they should have just kept him as a kid.
They say the first impression lasts long. I hope it doesn't last long. I hope he redeems. There's also a redemption story for him. Let's see. Let's hope.
I mean, let him turn heel. Let him think that. See, to me, that's more of the badass. Instead of trying to be the good guy, try to make it feel like his story. Where everyone else thinks he's bad, but to him, he's the good guy. I love that.
That's a good twist. That's a good twist. We shall see there.
So kind of like Lacey Evans on SmackDown.
Bingo. I love it. She has now gone up a peg for me after her promos because of how she's just like, fuck off, everyone. I'm the best. What I'm doing is the superhero stuff.
Well, we get two more promos. We saw in the barbershop with Carmelo Hayes. Anytime Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, they both get it on the microphone. I love hearing them cut promos. I like to see. I'm a fan of them both in the ring. Trick Williams, the greatest hype man right now in NXT, and probably if you bring him up to the main roster, I think if they get to the main roster, they might even be a little bit more better than the Street Profits. If you ask me.
Even with Trick being green in the ring, pulling him up together as a side hype man and still coming in, he can, almost like how Nash was brought in with Shawn Michaels. He didn't wrestle.
That's exactly how that is. That's exactly what they're doing there. That's Shawn Michaels' version of him and Kevin Nash together. These are when Shawn Michaels. Yes.
Except for I think Trick might. They're having to downplay Trick. Trick's. I mean, when you see him in the ring, he's got this smile. There's something about his smile. It's so funny and douchey at the same time. It's you like him, but then you just want to smack it off his face real quick.
Talking about it, yeah. I love to see them. We'll see. Hopefully, they're in action next week. We also saw the challenge for Tony D'Angelo taking on Diamond Mine. They made that as an event for next week. That can't wait for that.
4-on-4.
4-on-4.
Yeah,
Yes.
Can't wait.
Good. That's gonna be someone's gonna heel turn. I'm not gonna spoil it there. Someone. Yeah. And we get to finally the main event. We saw first all the ladies in the back cutting promos. First we saw Traxxas Attraction. We saw Ivy Niles, Katana James, Alba Fyre, and then the music hit. And one of the best entrances on NXT is Alba Fyre's new entrance with the fire, the flaming bat. I like it. I dig it. I think she gets the crowd pumping. I love it. Katie Ray, aka Alba Fyre, phenomenal. And then we have the ladies all in the Battle Royal. Let me tell you something. Other than Royal Rumble for the women, no other wrestling organization could pull out a Battle Royal, especially with NXT. It looked great in person, and I think it might have looked great on TV. Samurai, how did it look on TV?
It was good. It was actually good on TV too. I mean, from what I saw and from what I just love everything about the presentation of that Battle Royale. Honestly.
There I am, right there, right over the ref's head. That's our seat.
We get some more. We'll see some more here.
Yeah.
The only thing the Zoe, great surprise. Zoe didn't like how we didn't get the build up, how we didn't know in the crowd the QR code didn't come through inside the arena. Samurai, didn't you say earlier when we were talking before we got on? Did it come through on your TV actually, or did you happen to miss that?
I actually missed it because I think I was doing something else at the time, so I would have to. I mean, it didn't matter to me because I knew it was going to be Zoe Stark anyway. But I just figured that, I seen it twice, and then I figured I could figure out where it went this time because I didn't see it. So I think I was in the kitchen doing something, but yeah, it was just, to me, I like I said, the entire presentation of the Battle Royal was great. Then we got that crazy self-elimination.
Oh yeah. Who that was? Tatum.
Tatum Paxley eliminated herself.
Yeah,
he's under the tutelage of Ivy Niles, and she saw that Katana and Chase were taking care of Ivy Niles, and the thing is, she just picked up Nikkita Lyons, and she was doing some phenomenal. She's another one. Watch out for her climb.
Well, I mean, from the breakout tournament to now, she has taken some great steps. Tatum. Another one I'll slightly point out that stayed in the level, Salone Jacobs, I believe. She's one that I saw take some phenomenal steps from now.
Sheamus. That's Sheamus. What? That's NXT's version of Sheamus. We call it Sheamus.
I mean, but what other brand, can legit put on a 20-woman battle royale and 10 of them you can call legit? What you could say these 10 could legit win and not only hold the title but give a decent run with it too. Really personal, not like Nikkita Lyons, not a really big fan of her character. Did we talk about the bait and switch real quick about Zoe coming in? Who did she switch out for? We mentioned her.
I think it's what's her name, Kaya. She was part of the. She was trying to dangle with Chase U a little bit, like an alumni, and then she's kind of off TV for a little bit. I think she's in the UK now. Personally, I think she's off there. But Zoe starts coming in as a replacement. I was like, okay, I like I said, I didn't see her when I've been in NXT since Stand and Deliver, really covering and getting into it. To me, that was a fresh new face. Didn't know much about her. All in all, my dark horse, my horse in the race in the match was Tiffany Stratton. I was going for, but then I said Tiffany Stratton is a heel. Mandy's a heel. WWE really don't do too much heel versus heel. Sometimes they might do face with face, but not heel with heel. But I did say it would be Nikkita and one Final Four. I said it would be Nikkita, Cora Jade, Tiffany Stratton, and I thought maybe someone else, maybe Wendy Choo or someone different. And and I was almost close. I didn't know the whole Zoe Starks there. Let me ask you this, because we're going to run out of time soon. Zoe Starks, are you agreeing with the victory? Go to you, Charles.
Agree. I mean, so a little background from my understanding, Zoe actually got got beat up by Toxic Attraction, kind of going back. So this is kind of a good, heel, turnaround there. So I mean, I'm all game for it. Love where they're going to go with it if they really play up this. I think this will be a good jump for maybe Mandy to go to the main roster, because we're coming to that time. How long she's going to have that title, to who you're going to bring up.
Samurai, you did Zoe winning the battle royal. In your mind,
opinion, yes. I agree with Charles here, because I forgot your name for a second. Yeah, I agree, because like she actually, it's kind of like payback and revenge, because she did get injured during that was it a backstage attack or something?
Yeah, I think something like that. Just some onslaught.
Yeah, back in like November, and I believe that she was she was slated to come back, but then I think she wanted to come and do more rehab and whatnot. So yeah, I think that her winning does make sense.
Okay. For me, maybe if I watch the broadcast, I might change my mind. Let me ask you this: did Barrett mention about that attack from Toxic Attraction, laid out the foundation of this victory there? Was it that mentioned? Okay.
Yeah, he mentioned it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the first things he did.
Beautiful. That work in there. That's a good element there. Personally, me being in the arena, I did not like that. I didn't see her. I didn't, it's been, I don't know who she was. To me, she was new. Like, who is this, person I don't see week in, week out? I've been coming for almost 2 months plus. I don't see them. I only see, most of these ladies that are here. Alba Fyre is the newest one when she made her appearance. Like you said, any of these 10 ladies wouldn't work for me, especially. And I said, and I was like, Ivy Nine.
Also, why was what's her name? Why was Saray's picture out there when she wasn't even in the match?
There you go. Thank you we were talking. Saray, she's in UK. That was who Zoe took her spot. That was the bait and switch that Charles was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And I knew that it wasn't gonna. I said, damn, Nikkita Lyons though. You know how I knew Nikkita Lyons wasn't gonna win that battle royal because of the Saturday event on SummerSlam. If there was a premium event for this Saturday of SummerSlam, I thought Nikkita Lyons was going to win that. Sometimes the event and the time slot dictates, or sometimes they're booking with WWE. People me listen to me on my pro. I've been watching for 40 plus years. It kind of dictates himself with it, and I've seen over and over. And when I saw that, I knew Nikkita wasn't going to win that, but I don't think he's always going to have a Stark is going to take this title away from Mandy Rose. I think Mandy Rose stays.
See, well, your thoughts with your perspective on Nikkita was mine of Tiffany. The timing that the timing, the title rise. But kind of go back to your heel versus face. I think the storyline's great. You can't have Tiffany versus Mandy, but but I think Mandy's going to drop the title, and now you have Zoe and Tiffany and Nikkita, and now because you have enough heels and not enough faces in the women's division. So I think having this flip of the title now can really, Zoe can go through, I think her first, to be honest, will be Wendy Choo, which, by the way, loved how she did hers. Loved the Tiffany Wendy thing. Like it a lot better than Mandy. But yeah, I love where they're gonna go with it. The heel face Zoe, Mandy. I think it can turn into some really good matches, especially how they both wrestle.
Yes, and me personally, when Mandy was ready to get elevated, I think the whole Toxic Attraction should go elevated. All 3 ladies should go up.
I concur with that. I agree with you on that. Like I think they're all ready. I mean, especially Gigi Dolan. Gigi's hot. Gigi is smoking.
They love her in NXT too. They're Gigi is loved in the crowd.
There's a whole toxic attraction section. Yeah, the heels are loved in NXT.
Yeah, they are. They are. For even Grayson Waller.
Oh, the Don. You have Tony.
Tony of course. But
Tony
plays with us though. He at least acknowledges us. He gives us the thing. He revs us up. He gets us going. I love that about Tony. He'll come around and say, hey.
Grayson does what, and this is why I'll get side note. There's another guy. I'll just give a shout out to him. Duke Johnson. Duke
Hudson.
Hudson. Duke Hudson. I said Johnson. Grayson and Duke fuck with the crowd in between the matches. They'll talk shit. Some of those heels just don't do much, and they're a heel persona. Like those guys and girls, the good heels, they get that crowd revved in between the commercial breaks. So that way, when they come back, the TV comes back on. We're flipping them off and cursing them out, and
they know how to do it right.
And Tony's part. Tony does that, but he does it in his charismatic way. Where Tony's a character that can go heel or baby. It just depends on the storyline.
He's a tweener.
The storyline dictates on what he goes.
Yeah. Like with Legado Fantasma, he was a face or heel, or was he a face? He was a heel.
No, he was a heel. Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you when Tony D when not Tony D when Santos Escobar comes back, whenever that is, should be probably like in the next couple of weeks or so. Do you see him coming back as a heel or baby face?
Face.
The crowd loves him.
They love them both. The crowd split. I mean, that In Your House match, it was like Engado, Tony D, Engado. When all three of them. I think if you're going to elevate, you have to elevate both families. Really? I think you can continue the story on the main roster and make it better and make it again. I'm all about this takeover. I'm all about spread it, do a takeover. If you're going to create these factions, I love what the Usos, because you see it works with the Bloodline. The Bloodline's on Raw, the Bloodline's on SmackDown. The Bloodline is the Bloodline. If a faction is dominant, it should be through all three brands.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that wraps up. Go ahead, Samurai.
Well, I was going to say that makes sense. I mean, I can see that being a thing, but at the same time, do you see him taking back his boys when he comes back?
I would love to see whoever. Okay, if you're gonna, how to say, if you're gonna if you only can choose one to put on the main roster, Tony or Escobar, the boys have to turn on the other. So if you're going to put Tony on the main roster, Escobar comes back, and from Stacks to his boys, beat the shit out of Tony, wait a couple weeks, Tony comes up on the main roster. If Escobar is going to come back on the main roster, he comes back to get his boys, but his boys just love Tony, the way he treats them, the way he dives in. So then Tony and Stacks and Escobar's boys beat up Escobar, then Escobar goes to the main roster.
No, I'm gonna say this. With Tony D'Angelo, do you think that Cruz de la Torre and Joaquin Wilde. Yes. Do you think they're going to win Tag Team Gold?
No, I think they don't. I don't know, because I don't think they need it, if that makes sense. Could they win it? Yeah, and I could believe it. But do they need it to take that next step? No. I think if you brought both factions up, both families up, it'd be. I don't think you can, but if you did, it'd be amazing.
No, what I think is gonna happen is they're gonna have a 6-man tag. Loser leaves the territory. NXT, they gotta go, and that's I think what Legado Fantasma's gonna lose again.
Well, what happens if they tie then?
Realistically, they should have honestly done that when they did that 6-man tag the first time.
Yeah, and In Your House, they should have done that.
See, I think something happened where they were going with the storyline. Is Sento, is he injured or something? Because they're just the story. I think the mixture of something going on that we don't know about and 2 dimes getting cut really kind of threw off, because it's just the Creed Academy the Creed brother attack, or Diamond Mine attack, kind of feels forced. I like it. But it just doesn't feel like that's where it was going from the 2 families merging, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there was more story to be told between those 2 families.
And we just don't.
The agreement, yeah.
I think that Santos had like family obligations, so they took him off TV for a couple weeks.
I mean, he's been off TV. He's been off TV for almost, I think, going on a month now.
Remember, they taped for 3 weeks on NXT, and then
they taped for 2. They taped 1 extra week. I haven't seen him for.
That was a long day, by the way. When that tape,
the back to back, that's one of the ones I missed.
That was a long day. You didn't the fan appreciation. That was a long. They gave us a lot of nice stuff there. When I came home with 2 T-shirts, but my God, that was a long.
Someone I missed out where I would have been at. I probably would have won the SmackDown tickets.
That's that, because that guy, the guy that
Tiffany got who bless Tiffany. Shout out to Tiffany if you're watching. We love you. We all love you at NXT.
Yeah, no, definitely. But let's conclude because I have to get going to an appointment. I want to thank you guys for joining me here. We'll join us, follow us on all the platforms, audio platforms, in YouTube, in the Facebook page, Twitch, Twitter. We appreciate. Chris will be joining me hopefully on the NXT when he can. Hopefully you'll join with Samurai, and we have a facet now. We have our own 3 group here. Hopefully going forward talking about NXT because I know Samurai's been watching it for the longest and he loves it. I go every week and I've fallen in love with it. And I know Charles, I don't want to speak for yourself, but it looks like you are also in love with NXT like I am. We
go every week. Yes,
we are part of the universe. We are the nut jobs that scream, that yell, and we appreciate the performers. I love it. I cannot wait for Tuesdays is the best, one of the best days for us in Central Florida. Love it.
Samurai Man, if you ever get a chance, you gotta come down. We tailgate, in that parking lot. We bring. I'm just waiting to bring a grill next time, but I have my little ones. I bring them along. They love it. The stars get to come out and meet the kids at sometimes. I mean, it's really fun. If you ever get a chance to get down here, you gotta come down and experience it NXT live.
Yep, and I say that to everyone who could listen to the podcast. If you're spending a week in the city beautiful in Orlando to see Disney, take out a day for Tuesday. Get on the Facebook page, register up. Come on a Tuesday. They'll give you the instructions there, where to go, where the facility is, and where it is. And
Super easy. Bring water. That's all I say. Bring a bottle of water for the wait.
Yeah, that's it. Bring a little bit of bottled water. He's got to wait a little bit, just a little bit, not too much, maybe an hour. But everything is accommodating by the WWE. It is fun. The performance center is awesome. It's. I cannot stop saying great things about it. Remember, it's developmental league. If you want that professional, if you want to be, oh my God, you want to have, a full course meal, then go to the arena, spend your money. If you want to see good wrestling, kids working their rear ends off, come to NXT there. And you never know what you might see. You might see former Bellator MMA Valerie Lorena sitting with you in the stands like she was with us.
You might get to afterwards meet Finley just because he's walking out and he wants to wave hi to all the fans, and he came and took pictures with all of us.
Wait. So she was there. I didn't see her. Who she's sitting next to?
She was on the opposite side of the other side across from us from the aisle.
That's the blonde I saw.
The blonde. She's the Cuban Cuban American brunette, former Bellator fighter. They call her the twerking fighter. She was with her sister sitting there, and of course, we cover MMA here on the BX Sports Jedi Network weekly, MMA Weekly with Austin Japan. We know her for her fighting and her background. I know her for how she looks, and she was there. She was sitting there, and it was good to see her. Sometimes you see Ariana Grace sit with us on the opposite in the same area, part of the Chase U University. Those are all wrestlers, so you never know who you're with.
That was the rumor when Fallon got injured, because there's rumors going around all last week that Bayley was going to make her next appearance at NXT, and then this 20-woman battle royal comes out, and it's like winner gets NXT title. What better to have Bayley come back as a heel and say F off to NXT Universe, win the title, and then just drop it and go, I'm too good for you guys, and boom. And then just shoots off the main roster. And then when Fallon got injured, me and my girl were looking around like, this might be Bayley, and take Zoe. Love you, Zoe, but you
never know that too. You never know. Last week I looked to the right, the same row, Zion Quinn sitting right next to us.
Yeah,
you never know. So come on out to NXT if you're in the Orlando area, and you're gonna see some good entertainment, good wrestling, none of the BS, and a good crowd, man. From Mr. Met all the way down to Jordan Ding Ding. You never know, man. You have a good time, and man, we'll appreciate that, man. Charles, thank you for making your debut. Thank you for giving your time.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate for having you. I hope it's the most of many, and
Love
Samurai, you're always a pleasure with the NXT here. We thank you so much there. I got to run. If not, I will stay. I wanted to talk some more wrestling, in depth. But you know what? We'll make another show and we'll talk about it when we have more time. So thank you guys again. Go ahead, Samurai.
Well, I was gonna say just so you know, next Wednesday I may or may not be able to come because I have a appointment for my life insurance license.
We'll get there when that bridge crosses. We'll do early, but for us here on the BX Sports Jedi Network, Heel of the Ring, I got 2 words for you guys. Just subscribe. Again, we'll see you next time here. Peace.
Awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might grab it bad, I don't know. My rap, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll play it on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you had such a fuck up real bad.
Shut up.
Bye, everybody.